Hello, and welcome back to coverage here at Grand Prix Richmond. I've got Paul Chion with me. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe, and we've got round 14 action. This is booster draft for Amonkhet, Thiago Saporito of Brazil, Ben Friedman of the United States, both sitting at 12-1. Ben with a blazing start and a Sacred Cat.
Well, I will say this. Ben isn't the right color combination to consider playing Sacred Cat. He is black-white, which is... There are synergies by embalming and making zombie tokens. On top of that, again, like I said before, Ben Friedman has drafted kind of a combo deck. He's got Anointer's Procession in his deck, and anytime you embalm, you get to make 2 tokens.
I think he has 2 Anointer's Processions as well.
Right, you can double the kitty cats.
Double trouble.
I wonder if he has a Regal Caracal in his deck too.
Possible. Sacred Cat's going to actually get in the red zone here. Little 2-point life swing. One
Sacred
for me,
Cat doesn't care;
you.
it just gets in there.
That's right. Ben's going to follow up with a 2-drop, though. You can see it's turn 3 because he's left up a white mana here.
Right.
Jeru's Resolve, of course, being the card that kind of comes to mind early in the format. But from a big picture perspective, from the looks of things early, Ben's the one who wants the game to go long, right?
Yes, just based on his deck. Jeru's Resolve is a card. At the same time, Thiago can respond with a Magma Spray, and Ben would be the first person to have to kind of react. So it is kind of scary to fire off a Jeru's Resolve there if Thiago chose to attack.
Right, which he didn't.
Yeah.
Thiago is black-red. What do you expect out of a black-red deck that has played Nefcrop Entangler?
Oh, no.
That was now dead into a Cursed Minotaur.
Again, the black-red deck just wants to be really, really aggressive. You want to have a really low curve. It's got excellent kind of ways to get through. You have the Nefcrop Entangler, which can be a 3/3 trampler. You have the Cursed Minotaur, which is just very, very nice and aggressive. Like 3 mana, 3/2 menace, quite strong, and it wants to empty out its hand. It's got Thresher Lizard and even uncommons like Grim Strider, where basically what you want to do is empty out your hand so you can get added bonuses from the various cards that kind of benefit from that. There's not an official name for this, is there?
I don't know.
I know.
You make it up.
Well, we have one, but I don't like it very much, so I don't know if I want to go with
it. So we've got a Pitiless Vizier here for Thiago Saporito.
I'm a little disappointed that an Anointed Procession has not been cast yet.
Well, I'll make sure to send a note over to Ben Friedman that he is disappointed that
Ben,
Chion
there it is.
Right
there it is.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah.
He got the message very quickly. And
all is right.
That. Yep.
And if you notice the turn before, Ben Friedman actually opted to attack with the 3/3 lifelinker in True Heart Duelist into the Cursed Minotaur, being happy with that trade, going up to high life total, thinking that if the game goes long, and if he can safely resolve this Anointed Procession, he will be able to grind out Thiago Saporito.
Right.
Oh.
All right.
And if he had the Anointed Procession already in his hand, he wants that True Heart Duelist to go into the graveyard because now he can make
multiple copies.
Yeah, multiple copies.
Yeah.
He's got 2 embalmed creatures in his graveyard.
Right. He's actually incentivized to trade off here and get these cards in the yard, even more so than normal.
Yeah, he's going to put 4 creatures onto the battlefield here.
This is absurd.
And this is value, too, because these are just embalmed creatures.
Totally. Yeah, none of these coming out of his hand. So he'll still have access to all the resources that he had in his hand prior. And now look at this board state.
Yeah.
2/1/1 lifelinks and 2 2/2s that can block multiple creatures.
And this is just the beginning. Ben basically was just like, I've never drafted this before.
This
but
might be the end, by the way.
I have 2 copies of this rare. It's so sweet.
Yeah, if you draft around it, it can pay you back. Takes some work, though, right? It's not easy to set up, but when you do, it can really make it worth it. Thiago had used a Gravedigger, Paul, to grab back that Desert Ceradon.
Ah, okay. Yeah, Pitiless Vizier is still pretty good here. It allows you to just fight through these tokens, and Ben can't really... He could choose to block, but he's at 27, so he can just take it here.
He also knows about the Desert Ceradon in hand for Thiago Saporito. So he's just going to make him do it. Now, Thiago cycles the Desert Ceradon, but all you can come up with is no land and a Dune Beetle.
That is interesting that he opted to main phase cycle that because it does give you the ability to make the Vizier indestructible if Ben at some point chose to block, so it makes me think he's got some kind of a 5-drop that he wants to play out of his hand. Maybe he also has an Archfiend. Yeah, pretty safe attack here with the 2/2s.
And Tiago's going to block one of each, trading off for the Gravedigger. It's kind of value trading for value there. The other one's, of course, just going to bounce off the Dune Beetle.
Right. I'm interested to see, though. Ooh.
Well, Splendid Agony is going to just go ahead and kill the Pitiless Vizier, and Fling is going to hit the graveyard from Tiago's
that I've seen.
hand from that Miasmic Mummy. Oh, he's got Liliana Death's Majesty. a foil one. Dude, Ben's like, are you serious,
man?
Oh,
the value. What a filthy rare drafter.
Yeah, so he's going to plus Liliana. That's going to mill him for 2.
Oh, my goodness.
And give him a 2/2 zombie.
Wow.
And he's just going to sit back. Now, the downside here is that Liliana's ultimate is actually quite easy to get to. As you can see, Tiago already has her up to 6 loyalty, 7, and then the next turn you can destroy all non-zombie creatures.
But Ben has all zombies.
They're all zombies.
Yes.
It would be destroy my Dune Beetle, go.
But Tiago can just churn out a bunch of tokens every turn. And I think Liliana still survives this turn, correct?
Absolutely.
It will only take 4 damage after Tiago chooses to block a 2/2. He can also choose to get a cat and take the Liliana down to 1.
That's right. And he's going to trade a loyalty for a creature on board here, even if it is just a 1/1 cat.
Yeah. Yeah, and if Tiago draws any type of creature here and makes a token with the Liliana is safe again until Ben draws some kind of a removal spell.
When you plus Liliana, she mills you for 2, maybe setting up her second minus ability there in the middle for later. But for right now, she's only at 2 loyalty. And there's a Grimstrider for Tiago.
Grimstrider, one of the cards I was highlighting when you want to be the black-red deck is you want to empty out your hand, and this is one of your payoff cards because if you can do it quickly, this is going to be 4 mana 6/6.
Yep.
And Liliana slowly taking over this game. That's a Hazoret?
Wow. Tiago's doing it.
Hazoret the Fervent. And what's the Liliana now? 3?
She's on 3. He could get Hazoret the Fervent back next turn if Tiago really wants, but it would cost him Liliana to do so. So it would have to be a play that really puts him in position to win the game immediately.
Wow, Tiago just firmly in the lead now. Ben needs to draw his Oketra to keep up with all of this.
Yeah, he does. And if he does, he actually will be able to quite handily. He can play Oketra and make 2 1/1s immediately with his 8 mana.
Yeah.
But this one's slipping away from Friedman very quickly.
Just two on-color mythic rares, both fantastic. And Hazoret, of course, being basically the ultimate payoff if you are the black-red deck, although you can't really expect to get it because it's mythic.
Right. Cartouche of Zeal. Is Tiago ready to start trying to apply more pressure here?
That's what it seems like.
Oh, how about an on-crop crasher? Holy smokes, this is going to be a big attack. Even though Ben Friedman's at 21 life, Tiago feels pretty comfortable bashing here.
Yeah, although at the same time, you do kind of want to keep enough blockers back so that the Liliana can stay at 4, because returning a Hazoret seems like a very large game.
Yes.
Yeah, and Ben just has 2 lands. He's just dead here.
Wow, what a turnaround for Tiago. You know, Ben just started to get that engine rolling there with the Anointed Procession, and Tiago just calmly worked his way through it, ended up playing Liliana and just dominating from that point on.
Planeswalkers will do that.
They will do that, indeed. All right, well, we have more Magic action for you here from Richmond. We'll be back right after these messages. coverage here at Grand Prix Richmond. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Paul Cheon. And things were looking pretty good for old Ben Friedman there, but they slipped away from him quickly. Thiago Saporito, a true grinder from Brazil. He knows how to work his way towards a victory, and he set up kind of a two-turn kill there once he turned the corner, and that was it.
If you just take a look at his left sleeve, you're definitely going to remember Ben Friedman's name.
Yes. Normally he's wearing some type of cowboy hat or something. He's got some signature moves.
But now because of the team series, he is wearing the shirt for his team.
And it looks like Ben is going to have to take a mulligan here.
Or just starting the game with 10 cards.
Do you ever look? Do you ever do what he did and look at the
I
top
always
three?
look.
You do?
I always look. So I'm that guy.
So disappointed.
Disappointed. Well, look.
You know it screws with you.
No, that's the thing.
You think you're a robot or something?
No, I'm not a robot. I just feel like I've played so many games where I know that my decision is correct, but I still just want to see.
I don't believe you.
I just want to see. I look.
It screws with your head, man.
Look, chat. How many of you look and how many don't? I think it's close.
Are you on team no look or team look? I'm on team no look. Don't look.
Always look. It's exciting. Look. It's exciting. What's behind the box?
You know it's completely irrelevant, right?
Yeah.
So why waste your time?
It doesn't really waste my time. I'm picking up my deck to shuffle anyways. Yeah, see, look at that. Oh, that I feel like there's more looks than... it's close.
You're wrong.
Come on.
Holy
team
smokes.
look.
People are very opinionated about team look or team no look.
It's not close, right, Marshall?
All right, 6 cards for Van Friedman, but he has kept them and deciding whether to put top or bottom. He's going to scry his card to the bottom. He will be on the play this game, and wow, that blazing start again.
The cat.
Why is he playing that thing?
Well, he does have 2 copies, again, of the Anointed Procession, but on top of that, he's got 2 copies of Lord of the Accursed.
So he has zombie cats?
He has zombie cats, yes. He wants those cats to go into the graveyard as quickly as possible. Oh.
Well, immediately the cat is outclassed by a dune beetle. But this is a nice one for Thiago.
Yeah.
He's got a Cursed Minotaur here that he can use to start applying pressure, or at least accepting gifts of bricks from Ben Friedman's
little offense and defense here. You got the turn 2 Dune Beetle followed by the Cursed Minotaur. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this card, Edifice of Authority.
It's been very solid for me.
Yeah, just happy to play it in most of my decks. I know it's a little bit worse in kind of the aggressive strategies, but there's a lot of times where you're in racing situations and it helps you there too. Once you get 3 brick counters on this, it is just an amazing card because you can just use it on your turn and basically freeze out a creature until your next turn. Also got to speed it up with some quarry haulers, add an extra brick counter.
People who look have no sauce has been called in the
No
chat.
Sauce?
That's
all the sauce.
Oliver says
was that an Oliver 2 thing?
Yeah.
I'm just guessing in the dark.
It absolutely was. And you know what? I figure that's probably not good for you.
Well, it probably doesn't make me very cool at the very least. But outside of that, come on.
Doesn't make you cool. Wow, you really are a dad now. Oh, there's Liliana again for Thiago Saporito.
Does Liliana have sauce?
Oh, she's got the sauce.
That's a lot of sauce.
And she brings friends, too, because here's a zombie. And this one, once again, for Friedman, who's really designed his deck to try to sit back and abuse these synergies that he's put together, is not able to apply enough pressure. Look at it. He's got a 1/1 cat.
Yeah, Ben's deck is not especially aggressive. It's going to be hard to beat a Planeswalker. I don't think when Ben was kind of building his deck, he's like, all right, let's devise a strategy to beat the Liliana. He does have a copy of Lay Bare the Heart, but it is too late at this point.
I mean, how over is this game, right? Like, it is incredibly difficult for Ben to come back from this given the board state that he's assembled.
Absolutely. The way Ben has to win is basically kind of the way he beat Christopher Larson in the first round, where he just kind of has to assemble the combo, right? He wants to get Oketra going along with the Anointed Procession, and maybe that with 8 lands to make 4 dudes a turn will be able to get him to turn it around. But outside of that...
And of course, he has neither of those right now,
Yeah.
including the 8 lands or the Anointed Procession or the Oketra.
Right. And also, Tiago does have the ability to just -7 on the Liliana and destroy all non-zombie creatures.
That's right. And the way things look, by the time Ben Friedman he gets rolling, if he ever does, Liliana can ultimate with plenty of room to spare.
Yeah, I don't think Ben has enough sauce in his deck to come back from this. I just don't see it happening. Yeah.
If you knew what that meant, it would be even funnier. But
Okay.
there's a compulsory rest there, and this is what it's come to. It's compulsory rest on a 2/2 zombie token that Tiago made for free, thanks to his friend Liliana. That cannot end well for Friedman.
Yeah, Liliana just continue ticking away. Has Tiago put any like amazing creatures in his graveyard that he wants to get back?
Didn't see any yet.
So far, I haven't really seen anything great. I know he has a Grimstrider in his deck along with a Hazoret the Fervent. Ooh, the unblockable Dune Beetle.
He's getting in there for a point. I mean, he's looking at the board like, this guy's not putting any pressure on me. I guess I'll chip in.
Ah, okay.
And he's found a nice receiver for the -1/-1 counter there from that Manticore of the Gauntlet. Of course, the 3 damage is going to hit Friedman. But this one's over. I mean, there is just no way Friedman can come back from this.
It looks like he's like contemplating scooping up all of the cards right now.
I mean, he might be hungry.
Right? Yeah, this was pretty fast.
Like, he's really has to consider a sandwich versus sitting here and watch Tiago Saporito just destroy him with Liliana.
Yeah. Come on, everybody wants to see the emblem. Or not the emblem, the ultimate. Although I guess the ultimate would actually just kill more of Tiago's creatures.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Don't think it's going to be enough, but... Okay, it looks like he's going to kind of be a little more aggressive here and try to get Liliana out of ultimate range.
Well, Tiago has zombies to spare here.
Right. It looks like he did get 2 damage through, but as Tiago opted to double block the 3/3 Miasmic Mummy due to Lord of the Accursed being on the battlefield. All right, what do we got here? Okay.
All right, maybe Tiago decks himself.
Well, we did see 2 great creatures in his deck. At some point, unless they're the last 2 cards in his library,
Yeah.
he will be able to recur something big off the Liliana. He has a Gravedigger. That's a lot of value too.
Yep.
Putting a Gravedigger into play, getting back something else.
I mean, he's got it on the battlefield, but
Right.
land off the top for Friedman, who enjoys the view, then plays his land.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just going to be super tough, especially just given that, like, even, you know, one of his better cards, Edifice of Authority, just matches up so poorly when your opponent just floods the board with smaller creatures, like what Tiago's doing.
Yeah, and like Oketra would be a reasonable draw, but it's still
Yeah.
it's still expensive, right? You're spending 4 mana to make a 1/1, and Tiago's just getting a free 2/2 every single turn.
0 mana to make a 2/2.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like Ben's chances there. Also, that Dune Beetle, still frisky.
Unblockable.
Tiago's going to bump himself back up to 21 life. Thanks to compulsory rest. That zombie
Got a lot of value out of that zombie.
Extra
It
dead.
ate a -1/-1 counter.
it did.
Gained him some life. I think Tiago might be setting up for a big attack here. And he looks pretty happy. He feels like this is basically over.
And
Okay.
all right, well, the decking plan's still live for Ben Friedman. Tormenting Voice for Tiago is going to dig him a couple of cards deeper.
Ben doesn't have any islands. You can't just see him go island compelling argument just for the win. Oh, wow.
How about Hazoret the Fervent for Tiago Saporito, because his board wasn't good enough as it
I
sat.
guess I'll use the Edifice on that one.
Yeah, but now we can start converting any random land draws or ineffective spells to damage
Yeah.
and just start chewing away at Ben Friedman's life total.
And the cradle is only sorcery speed. You can only make a zombie, I believe, at
That's
sorcery
correct.
speed.
You can only do it at sorcery speed. And so, and what we have here, by the way, just to make sure that we keep things in perspective, is this is for top 8. I mean, Tiago will be in the top 8 when he wins this game. Friedman, though, not dead. He's sitting at 12-2 after this and has another match to either play or draw. He has to take a look at how things go, but he's very much live for top 8 still. So this is not necessarily the end of the road for Ben Friedman, but Tiago's going to be in.
Yeah. And
book it.
These last kind of the last 2 rounds just kind of further exemplifies how important or how impactful these rares are, right? Because these games were just determined by the rares.
Totally.
Liliana winning both games for Tiago, Ben Friedman winning with Oketra in the round prior, and Chris Larson not drawing any of his rares.
Right.
Because everything else were just kind of vanilla creatures that kind of go back and forth.
Totally.
And you're just seeing, again, how impactful these rares are.
Uh-oh, there's an on-crop crasher hitting the graveyard. That could come back at the right time and signal a victory. Friedman at 4.
I believe that was a Winged Shepherd.
And Friedman's at virtual 2 here as well. Remember,
it could be anything.
Actually, all he has to do is just untap. Right. I mean, he can just throw the 2 cards that he has in his hand. He's got 6 mana. He can just go.
It's another cycler. Yeah. That's
all right. The full sweat. I like it, Ben Friedman.
It could be anything.
He's going to slowly reveal
wait for it.
He's like, oh, this is it. This is the one I needed on Evolving Wilds.
He can thin out his deck now.
He's going to crack it. All right, he's having some fun with it now, but he knows this one's done.
And it looks like Tiago's...
I can appreciate that. He's taking a fairly large beating.
Yeah. He's just like, sure.
He's like, can I get 2 lands? And Tiago's like, absolutely. And that is, in fact, going to do it. Tiago Saporito, little raise of the eyebrows, and he's like, whoa, I'm in the top 8. This is great.
Yeah.
And Ben Friedman says, well, hopefully I'll see you there. He's got a little more business to take care of in the next round before
he's still
he can
very
do
live.
That. Yeah, very live. A fantastic record for Friedman still, 12-2. If he is forced to play and he loses, then he has a chance of not make it. But Tiago's in. So that's going to do it for that one. We'll be back with more Magic right after these messages.